I was working on my book on the subjectivity of atoms, and it got me thinking about the problem of other minds. Question: how do we know that things appear to other minds the same way they appear to ours? If I look at the color red and it appears to me as, well, red, how do I know that's how it appears to you too? Well, because it's red. You look at a red rose or blood and you see it as red, and I do too, so we compare notes and we know we're seeing the same thing. But do we really? I mean, yes, sure, we all agree that blood and roses are something we all call red, but how do I know that the experience of red to you isn't the experience of yellow to me? Maybe all your life you've called that red, that is what red is to you, but you're effectively seeing something different from what I see when I see red. And due to things like color blindness, we know that this exists to an extent. Or what about taste? How do I know that when I eat a peanut butter and jelly donut or a slice of beef brisket, that those amazing things taste the same way to me as they do to you? Maybe to you, chocolate creates the same impression in you as vanilla does to me. The thing is, we can never know. We can never know the content of another person's mind and how they subjectively react to different stimuli. Because our universe is subjective. Everything we know about the world, we know only from our point of view. Okay, so that's a question. But now let's extend it. If we can't know the contents of another person's mind, how do we know other people even have minds? We see people around us all the time, but what are we really seeing? We're just seeing bodies and behaviors and actions. We don't see their minds. So how can we be sure that just because I have a conscious experience, and I do, that anyone else does? How can we be sure that other minds exist and that anyone else has thoughts and feelings and experiences? Well, because they say they do, because their behaviors indicate that they do. But do they? Aren't we now making an assumption that another person's speech and actions and behaviors correlate to some inner experience the same way our actions correlate to our inner experience? We cannot know that this is the case. In fact, other people very well could just be elaborate machines, robots. In philosophy, they're actually called zombies. We don't mean like the horror movie zombies. A zombie in philosophy is just a being that has no conscious experience, but has all the behaviors, the outward appearance of having an internal life. And other people could be like these zombies with no inner experience at all, the same way we generally view single-cell organisms or plants. Plants is a good example, and maybe even insects and fish, etc. Living, sure, but without a mind, no consciousness, just behaviors that are byproducts of their physical processes, the same way an electron moves around the nucleus. Now ask yourself this: if every creature you think of as conscious were just a zombie, an automaton like in Westworld, whose behaviors replicate those of conscious creatures, but actually on the inside the lights are out, how would they appear any different to you? The simple answer is they wouldn't. But then there's another question to ponder. If plants or inanimate objects like a rock, a toaster, or a donut actually did have some form of consciousness, if they could feel the things we did to and around them, would they appear any differently? Ultimately, the question is, could there be a lot less consciousness or a lot more consciousness in the world than we think?